at a subsequent board meeting, and no action can be taken on any such item discussed unless the action has been authorized under the government code. Any person may also address the board on any agenda matter at the time that is discussed. Municipal Advisory Council, RMAC.
Thank you, guys. So my name is Kelly Carden, and I do serve as the chairman of the Roseland Municipal Advisory Council. I want to thank the Roseland Community Services District and President Washington for hosting us tonight, and of course, a special thank you to Mr. Ball and the current council of governments for being here as well. I wanted to speak to the importance of local transportation infrastructure. What happens to a town like ours when it's lacking? When a community cannot move, it cannot grow. Emergency vehicles reroute around obstacles that should not exist. Investors look at a community that cannot move its people and goods and choose somewhere else. Infrastructure is not an amenity. It's the foundation on which everything else is built. Kern-Cog's inclusion of Southeast Kern in this plan is meaningful. Seeing our region represented with real budget listings and a planning horizon is always good news. I'd like to speak to 3 items on that list. Well, 1's on that plan and 2 are not. First, the Roseland Boulevard grade separation at Union Pacific Railroad. It's listed at $69 million in 2008. That's not a $70 million project anymore. At some point, a plan stops being a plan and starts being a list of things that will never happen unless someone forces the question. That's why we're here today, to force the question with Kern-Cog. Trains do not walk that crossing as frequently as you might hear, but they do stop. And when a train stops, it does not stop for 2 minutes. Emergency vehicles cannot cross. You cannot plan around it. You cannot dispatch around it. You wait. In a medical emergency, waiting is not an option. With more than 20,000 residents and more than $2 billion in arriving industrial investment, that crossing it periodically and unpredictably severs emergency access. It's not something that we can accept as permanent. But we do understand the fiscal reality. So while that project works towards a funding source, we asked Kern-Cog to study a neutral alternative. Develop the intersection at Sierra Highway and Patterson. Extend Patterson through the 10th Street West, connect it back to Roseland Boulevard. If a train stops, Patterson does not fix that. But right now, emergency vehicles are navigating unmaintained dirt roads when they reroute. Paving those connections reroute time dramatically, and it gives first responders a road they can actually use. And on any given day, a paved Patterson road gives drivers an alternative east to west route, distributing traffic across multiple crossing points rather than concentrating everything on Roseland Boulevard. The second and third items are an additional freeway overpass and improvements to the Roseland Boulevard interchange on SR 14. Roseland Boulevard is the only true community interchange on SR 14 for a community of over 20,000 people. The last capital investment there was landscaping. For residents in the newer development south and west of Roseland Boulevard, accessing the freeway heading south means driving north first. But consider what happens when Roseland Boulevard itself is closed. Construction, an accident, emergency response, a widening of the interchange on the freeway. Those residents have no alternative route to the freeway at all. Another practical solution, extend Holiday Avenue from 30th Street West to the SR 14 frontage road. Then you develop frontage road from Roseland Boulevard all the way to Avenue A. There's about a 1 mile gap in the middle. It's a street extension and a frontage road improvement, not a new interchange. But it gives the west side of town a direct southbound connection on any given day and a critical alternate route when Roseland Boulevard cannot be used. Finally, Sierra Highway is Roseland's primary surface connection to Lancaster and the Antelope Valley, and it needs to be widened. But this is a bi-county conversation involving Kern-Cog and the LA Metro. But a project crossing a county line should not be the reason it never gets studied. We are asking Kern-Cog to initiate that conversation. Regional transportation plans are where features get decided. Projects in this document have a path to funding. Projects that are not, they do not. So we're here today to make sure Roseland's needs are on this record, and we will be submitting written comments before the July 2nd deadline for COG. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Mr. Carden. Can you provide those comments to, did you? Very good. Thank you. Hello. Could you please state your name, and we need an address as well?
Not for the book.
Okay, just your name, please.
Good evening, gentlemen. My name is Marcy Juris. I represent Rosemont VFW 5697. I apologize, a little nervous. I appreciate the floor and the opportunity to let you guys know that we are here. I am the incoming commander-elect. I take office in June 21st is my official commander title. Right now I'm in the process. I came before you to let you know that we are still here. The Rosemont Post is active. We have been in some sort of slumber, and I'm bringing us out. I want to make us a resource. We have installed a community library, and I would like to bring us into the 21st century. A lot of our veterans are getting older and need to find the resources. I am bringing us to them. We have a base. We should have the resources for those veterans that are just coming into base and moving to Rosemont. What's there to do? Coaches is place to get wings. This is an event that's going on. There's a parade here. I want to bring that to our veterans. I don't really have any questions or comments. I just wanted to do an introduction, so I thank you for your time.
Before you leave,
Yes,
I met her at the meeting, and you said you're the first female commander of this post,
that
correct?
is true. Yes, I am
Thanks so
also
much for showing up
historical,
here.
historical moment first for female commander.
8 years in the Navy.
Yes, I'm
Navy veteran.
yes,
8
the
years.
Navy veteran, 05 to 13. My first ship was the USS Cole. Right after she got bombed, I went out and we went off the coast of Yemen and played proud to be an American, and that qualified me for VFW. So,
All right.
Marcy, how do you spell your last name?
Juris, Juris.
And I would
Nice
like
to meet you. Thank you
say,
for coming.
I would like to say that as a board,
Mhm.
we 100% support our veterans. And if there's any opportunity that we can do something to promote or help our veterans, please let us know.
Will do. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I might add, I was in the Navy last century.
That's what they have, the wooden boats, right, Byron?
On the aircraft carrier, the kitty hawk.
Yeah, I'd just like to remind the public during our public hearing portion, you will be able to get up and ask questions and speak. Okay, is that it? Voluntary public roll call via teleconference. If any member of the public on the teleconference video conference wishes to identify themselves as present for this meeting, please do so for the record's minutes.
This is Ben Raymond from Kerncog.
Good evening.
Good evening. No one else? Okay, I guess we'll roll into our presentation. This is a presentation of Kern County of Governments, presentation of the draft regional transportation plan, sustainable community strategy, draft federal transportation improvement program, the draft conformity how do you say that?
Analysis.
Analysis and draft environmental impact report will be available for the public review. Our presenter tonight is the Deputy Director and Director of Planning, Rob Ball. You have the floor, Mr. Ball.
So unfortunately, Mr. Ball had a conflict and I am stepping in for him. My name is Ben Raymond. I'm a regional planner with Kern Council of Governments. And like I said, I'm here today to announce that our regional transportation plan is now available for public review. And I thank you very much, the person who I didn't get their name that provided those comments. And I'm looking forward to seeing those written comments. Those were very good comments. That's exactly what we're interested in hearing about what projects
Can you
are
pause
needed.
for just a second, sir? We're having
Oh,
a
yes.
volume issue here. Just a second.
Turn up my small oversight. Speak some more, Mr. Raymond.
Yes. Can you hear me now?
You guys okay with that?
Is this working for you?
Keep talking for me.
I can keep talking, yeah. Kern Cog, Regional Transportation Plan.
Yeah, we're good.
Okay,
You can proceed, sir.
okay. So I was saying, I was glad to hear those comments and to hear that we'll be getting some written comments about potential projects that we could include in the plan. And so please feel free to email me if you'd like. You can email me, Raymond at kerncog, that's KERNCOG Ben Raymond at kerncog.org. So RAYMOND at KERNCOG.org. So yeah, like I was saying, the RTP is now available for public review. Just first, I wanted to give a little bit about KernCog. The KernCog Board of Directors includes one elected representative and an alternate for each of the 11 incorporated cities, along with 2 county supervisors, which includes Supervisor Chris Parley. And at KernCog, we work for you, so our staff is always available to answer any questions you have about transportation projects or funding. So please don't hesitate to give us a call. Primary function of KernCog is to develop a long-range plan of projects and identify funding sources for those projects. Most state and federal transportation funding sources require that projects be included in this 20-plus year long-term regional transportation plan, or RTP. Projects that have been advanced or have funding identified and included can be included into the short-term transportation improvement program. Projects must first be in the long-term plan before they can be added to the short-term program of projects. So KernCog is wrapping up a 4-year public outreach process that has garnered input from over 10,000 residents in Kern on how we should be expending the $14 billion of transportation funds that are in the long-term plan. Half of the input we collected was from over 50 public workshops and booth events throughout the county. And the other half came from an online surveys and an annual survey that is a statistically valid survey we conduct each year. It's done on phone and via text. And we actually work with a consultant that's all they do is make sure that they can conduct a statistically valid survey that reaches residents from across the county. So like I said, the draft RTP document is now available for public review, and all comments are due by July 2nd, 2026. I believe you were sent some packets that had the memo cover letter that talks about those public review periods for the various documents. Like I said, there's the long range plan of projects. That's the RTP and SCS. SCS is the Sustainable Community Strategy, which is a chapter of the Regional Transportation Plan. And there's also an environmental impact document that's out for public review for that. And then we'll be releasing that short-term list of projects, which is a 4-year list of projects. That's the FTIP, the draft 2027 FTIP. That's due to be released on June 1st. And its comment period also closes on June 2nd. In addition, we had a flyer that has various workshops that we're doing, that's just giving the brief overview of the plan along with the comment periods so that we can hopefully reach out to as many communities as possible to get feedback on the plan of projects in the RTP. And additionally, there's an executive summary. The executive summary should be included in that packet, and a list of projects that it's just a sub list of Southeast Kern projects that are in the plan. So with that, major projects in the plan include almost about $5 billion for road maintenance over the next 20 plus years, and funding of major projects such as new truck climbing lanes on State Route 58. The first phase of that is a 3.5 mile section that starting at the bottom near 223 where the National Cemetery is, and it heads up the grade about 3.5 miles. And that also includes a major rehabilitation of, I think it's almost 44 lane miles of that section of 58 that will be rehabilitated. The plan also seeks to fund all bike and pedestrian projects. There's a long list of bike and pedestrian projects in there, and the plan seeks to fund all those. And again, public comments are due July 2nd on the long range plan and the 4-year transportation improvement program, along with the associated federal conformity analysis that demonstrates that those projects will not delay district air quality attainment plans. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions. And like I said, do not hesitate to contact our staff. We're always happy to answer any questions, and we'll get back to you with an answer if we can.
Vice President Wood.
Yes, I don't have the draft in front of me. But the program does it include the improvements that Kelly Carden brought to the board as far as improving 10th Street West down to Patterson Road, or access in case of a train stoppage or a train derailment or anything that could block access for emergency personnel and fire personnel and police. I know this is something that has been discussed when I was on the RMAC board many years ago. It was a topic that was discussed quite regularly. And in fact, we'd even had an appointment with Union Pacific down in Bloomington to discuss the issue. It's something that's very important, and I'm hoping that it's included in your proposal. And I know that it's expensive to pave 10th Street and Patterson Road. But one of the things that was talked about is that they can, being as 10th Street West is a designated street, that it could be a maintained dirt road that would allow access of emergency personnel and people to get to their jobs or off to their destinations if Rosen Boulevard is not open. So I'm hoping that that is in the plans to improve that. And I would even suggest, if the funds are there, to give 2 points of access, and that is run 10th Street West as an improved, at least at a minimum of an improved dirt road and maintained dirt road all the way to Avenue A. That would ensure that if the train stoppage blocked the Patterson Street crossing, that you would still be able to get out at Avenue A, which is about 3.5 miles or so from Rosen Boulevard. And so I'm hoping that you can provide some answers on that.
Yeah, I don't see that in the list of projects. So I've written that down, and we will look into if that can be added into the list of next in line projects.
I'd appreciate that. And but I do know that it's something that's been discussed at the Rosen Municipal Advisory Council and with the supervisor's office before Chris became supervisor. It was discussed at length, and I'm hoping that Roseman, as far as street improvements, that is a major one that we need in this community, because you have a lot of people that can be cut off from emergency personnel, as well as police protection if something were to happen.
You have a comment, Director Hernandez?
No, that is a major for the town of Roseman is, I think that's a necessity. Is
Any other director comments? How about Mr. McKay from RMAC?
I don't have the draft in front of me, but two areas of concern. If anybody's driven on Rosen Boulevard at 8 o'clock in the morning when school's letting in, the base is going to work, or from 3:30 to 5:30, 6 o'clock, it's nonstop traffic. One of the things I would love to see, and I don't know if it's feasible, is an overpass at Avenue Way cutting across and coming out on 15th Street East to avoid, bypass the heart of Roseman in the mornings, allowing all that base traffic. That's a straight nonstop line for first couple hours in the morning, bypass the town. And I think that would alleviate a lot of the congestion here in Roseman with the schools and us growing. And then my other concern, I don't know if it's on the draft, is making Tehachapi Willow Springs a major thoroughfare, widening that with the freeway project coming up in Tehachapi, all the accidents we're seeing and all the construction going on in Lancaster. Everybody's avoiding going south, and if there's a truck accident on the 58 going into Tehachapi, we're shut down. We're done. So those are the two areas of concern I would like to see on our long-term goal, is to fix the traffic here in Roseman by bypassing, giving the base an outlet to still get to work, but avoid downtown, and kind of widening the Tehachapi Willow Springs back up into Tehachapi.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yep. I think we do have the Tehachapi Willow Springs widening included in the next in line list.
Do you have something to add, Mr. Carden?
No,
Could I make a comment? What Mr. Kelly have there, Raymond, Kern Cobb, you have the rep there. I know that may not be part of your report, but I just think from a wellness standpoint for our community, the information that Kelly, he presented here, maybe you folks get a copy of that and kind of look at it, because I think what happens, I was at some of these planning meetings that you folks conducted, and part of the problem is we plan for everybody, but within everybody we have pockets. And I'm sure some of the comments you're hearing now probably didn't come up in those meetings, because I was in a lot of them. So I don't know, Kelly, did you send a copy of that to them, or maybe you could forward a copy to them? It'd just be a good something for them to have there, so that they start looking through this stuff here.
the one that they sent to us.
No, the one that you had,
Yeah.
your presentation, because that's a reflection of us.
Right.
So maybe if you could get that in their hands, and with the comments, you heard the comments from Joel, but I think one of the things we wind up missing, I'm looking at the report and it looks grandioso, this big. Oh, we're over here in the corner, and the things we need, and I would say one thing from an emergency standpoint, Tehachapi had a derailment for about a year ago now.
Yeah.
If we have the same derailment here in Roseman, we're in trouble. Look what just happened down in Garden Grove. These things are all the time, all the way. And you got a lot of seniors over there. You got a lot of people who do not have automobiles on that side of town. How do we get them out of there? And I think that the more we talk about it, and they may say, well, it's not allocated, but maybe if they get enough tension, enough hearsay, maybe they can pull $10 from here and put it toward get there, because maintaining a road, that's a D50 going through there with some base. And then you have an emergency road or whatever. So maybe, Mr. Kelly, that information you have, we could see about getting to it. I know the board can't, let's say, send it to them. No, we can't endorse that, but I just think as a resident of Roseman, that's spot on, sir.
So, Mr. Raymond, I've already sent my public comment into your email, so you have it.
Okay.
And then the RMAC board next month, we'll take it up and we'll do another community meeting on behalf of our town. I do have a question about the report though. There's a very large packet that's listed as Metrolink. Can you confirm that's a high-speed rail project? Because, I mean, to be really honest, in a town like ours, we find that to be misleading if it's a high-speed rail project, because no one here thinks it's ever going to pass.
No, the Metrolink is an extension of the Metrolink system to Rosemont, and that's it.
Yes, it's definitely.
It's not connected to because my understanding is that it is connected to the high-speed rail project. If it's not, that's okay. it tempers my expectations if it's part of a project that I don't believe is ever gonna come to town.
Oh, I see. I see, because that one, are you talking about the one that actually says high-speed rail on it? Sorry, I'm trying to pull up that document right now.
That's okay, you have my email, you can also respond to that personally.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, I'll look at it, but I'm pretty sure we had a project that was just the expansion of the Metrolink system, separate of high-speed rail.
Mr. McKay?
One other thing I forgot is when Mr. Wood mentioned maintaining dirt roads. We have a lot of seniors that live down dirt roads, and Dial-A-Ride will not go down dirt roads. So we have a lot of seniors that are stuck in their homes. They can't get out. They can't use it with the public transportation. So that would be something else long term I'd like to see maybe is start maintaining some of these dirt roads so we can get the access for some of our residents that happen to live down dirt roads.
You're right on that.
Mr. Raymond, Kelly Carter, one more time, please forgive me. Antelope Valley College, their student government has just passed a resolution dictating that they're going to be handing out vouchers to Roseman and East Kern students to make it to town. But currently, if you're a student in Roseman or East Kern and you're trying to get to Lancaster, it takes hours each way. So something that they're going to need is an additional route to the college. And thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Any more comments?
Mr. President, I just want to ask a couple of questions. And only just to try to help you get the word out, Mr. Raymond, where can they find the documents?
They're on our website, kerncog.org.
Okay. And then what we can do is the packet that you sent us, and I've included it in the board's packet and on our public packet site, we could actually provide a link on our website so that they can, so that people that are here at this meeting or hear about this meeting can access your documents there as well. So we can do that for you.
That'd be great. Thank you.
That's it, Mr. President.
Okay, do you have anything, Assistant GM?
No, sir.
Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Raymond, for speaking tonight.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate it.
All right, sure. Thank you.
Okay, we're going to move on to consent calendar, CC1 and CC2. Cash balances, April 2026 report, and CC2 is a review of the check voucher register dated May 5th, 2026 through May 18th, 2026. Payroll direct deposit dated May 6th, 2026, and payroll checks dated May 6th, 2026. Motion to approve consent calendar?
Motion to approve CC1.
And CC2 by Director Webb. Second by Vice President Wood. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? 5-0. Okay, we move into the public hearing. Public hearing to consider adoption of resolution number 2026-6, adopting the annual budget for the fiscal year ending January 30th, 2026. Presenter is Kim Domingo. Gonna open up public hearing.
So the public hearing is open, Mr. President.
Yes.
And I want to say for the record that the notices were posted as according to law. So this item is to approve the 2026-2027 budget. Just to give you a little background, we had 2 budget workshops that had been conducted prior to this proposed action. The first workshop was on May 11th of this month. The Finance Committee met. And then the second workshop was conducted with the board last week, the special meeting on May 19th. Staff received input from the board both times, conducted planning sessions internally, and provided recommendations to our financial consultant for inclusion in the proposed budget. The attached budget was developed using data from proposed and current vendors in addition to trending data from the previous 3 years to determine our expenses. It is in a form that is consistent with previous budgets. The line item costs have been adjusted to reflect staff input as they relate to anticipated operational increases or decreases. The salary costs include the recently adopted MOU side letter, increased benefits, and anticipated step, merit, or promotion increases. And that is my portion of the report. We also have on the line, I believe, Sadie Greenwald with I Bailey.
Aye, baby.
Yes, I'm on the line. I can go ahead and start my presentation now, if that works for everyone.
Yes.
Great. Good evening, members of the board. As you know, the district recently completed a rate study that is required under Proposition 218. The rates that were calculated in this study will go into effect starting July 2026 and are approved for the next 5 fiscal years. The water and sewer budgets before you this evening are based almost entirely on that rate study. The streetlight budgets are based on a preliminary engineer's report, which will come before you in a future meeting for consideration and adoption. The remaining budgets are based on a combination of trend analysis of prior year's actual activity and the forecasts of future needs. Over the last 10 years, the district has done a commendable job of rebuilding its reserves while maintaining a high level of service delivery. Despite the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic, the introduction of SB 998, and the ongoing pursuit of sustainable water sources. As part of the effort to balance the need between building and using reserves, the budget forecasts an approximate operating surplus of $4,011,610 in fiscal year 2026-2027. This approach is intended to smooth the impact of the rate increases while simultaneously investing in capital projects and balancing the district's reserve requirements. The budget before you is a balanced budget. This is the result of better than expected year-to-date actuals in fiscal year 2025-2026 and the carryover savings coupled with proactive governance, sound managerial decision-making, and an intentional focus around fiscal prudence and service delivery. For fiscal year 2026-2027, the district proposes operating budget revenues of $18,636,486 and operating expenditures of $14,620,716, resulting in an operating surplus of $4,011,610. Also before you this evening is the draft capital budget for fiscal year 2026-2027. During the 2021 rate study, it was determined that transitioning to a pay-go capital budget was the most prudent for the district. This approach includes fixed amounts each year for both water and sewer, and for fiscal year 26-27, these amounts are $3.8 million and $2 million respectively. The remainder of the capital budgets will be funded through the use of reserves. The proposed budget will have the following impacts on reserves. A total increase to the general fund reserves of $555,236, with an increase of $555,236 to the general fund reserve. A total decrease to the water fund reserves of $5,256,965. This is an increase of $1,188,559 to the debt service reserve, a decrease of $3,224,998 to the repair and replacement reserve, a decrease of $2,361,211 to the facilities capacity and connection fee reserve, and a decrease of $859,324 from the other unrestricted cash. Included as well is a total decrease to the sewer fund reserves of $9,320,959. This includes an increase of $2,609,645 to the debt service reserve, a decrease of $1,585,013 to the repair and replacement reserve, a decrease of $3,490,350 to the facilities capacity and connection fee reserve, a decrease of $4,092,807 to other unrestricted cash, and a decrease of $2,762,434 from the debt proceeds. This also includes a total increase to the LLAD number 2 reserves of $20,382. As a reminder, a budget is a flexible document. It is meant to serve as a roadmap for the expected sources and uses of financial resources over the course of the fiscal year. It is based on the best, most current economic information available at that date. But like any forecast, circumstances can change, and district staff will continue to monitor both the economic and legal landscapes. We will continue to practice conservative fiscal prudence and will keep you informed of actual performance as the year unfolds. Thank you again for the opportunity to present the fiscal year 2026-2027 operating and capital budgets. This concludes my part of the presentation, and I'd like to turn it over to the general manager to present the details of the CIP budget.
Thank you, Sadie.
Yep.
So as Sadie mentioned, the CIP budget is on the water side is $10 million. And it's also $10 million on the sewer side. And I just want to highlight a few projects. Number one, on the water side, there's a well 10 and intertie project that we project will help us achieve chromium compliance. There is a tank 3 recoat project for about $2 million, $1.8 million actually, that will help repair and recoat an investment in a tank in tank 3. There is a chromium treatment capital project at $2.9 million that will also assist in helping us get to chromium compliance. And then we also include $1 million worth of service line replacements. You will see, as you've seen over the years, at least the last 3 years, that we've had many service line leaks, and that we've undertaken a project to replace service lines instead of just repair them. On the sewer side, there is the sludge dewatering project that.
Could you do me a favor before we keep going?
Yes.
So we can kind of just share with the community, because you talked about the well, intertie, tank recoat, chromium. Can you just kind of give them a little summary of how this all kind of works here? And those are big numbers, but tell them it's a good number to have versus trying to go buy a brand new. So could you just kind of share with the public kind of how those numbers, the wells, because you talked about chromium and whatnot in these numbers. So could you just kind of share with them kind of how that comes together so they'll have an understanding of it?
So I think the public needs to know, or it would be helpful for you to know that one of the things that we've tried to do here is you have assets, you have a water and sewer system that in a lot of cases is aging, and in some places needs to be improved. And then in some cases, because the state or EPA has moved a regulation such that all of a sudden your water is not safe for you to drink, like in chromium, and you've gotten the letters. So what we've tried to do, and we actually started working on these budgets probably two years ago, and tried to develop a long-term plan to take bites of a problem, to replace and upgrade aging parts of the system, to keep them intact so that it's reliable now and in the future, and not just to do that, but also to meet compliance as far as water quality compliance. So it's not just something that we do in a bubble. We sit down with both our water operations staff and our sewer operations staff, and we ask them a lot of questions about, the difficulties that they're having with operating the system. And quite frankly, they're the ones that help develop this type of capital improvement budget. What Director Webb is talking about as far as chromium, we had an inkling that it was coming, so we're a little bit, we didn't necessarily wait until the EPA issued and the state issued their regulation. We were already in the works of trying to solve that problem because we knew it was coming. And so we think that we're going to be able to meet that compliance deadline, by the deadline. I know that there are a lot of other agencies in the state that are not going to be able to meet that deadline because it is very expensive to treat, and we're trying not to treat. So we're looking at all different options and all the different avenues. As far as the tank is concerned, periodically we have the tanks inspected. And as far as tank 3 is concerned, there's some structural concerns about it. So we're going to be able to take that tank down, fully empty it, repair it, and then recoat it, and it'll be good for another 10 to 15 years. So right now, it's been an investment in the community for the last 20, and now we'll be able to keep it intact for even a longer period of time. The other thing I want to point out, and I think Sadie alluded to it, is that some of these capital projects have a capacity component, so an increase in capacity. So when they have an increase in capacity component, we collect what we call impact fees from developers that people that buy new homes basically end up paying as part of their purchase price what's called an impact fee. And basically it's their share of the capacity increase. So we're able to tap into those funds so that, you know, all the projects that we do, especially when it relates to capacity, is not being borne by the customers, it's being borne by the developers. So that's the other thing is that tapping into that reserve has not been taken advantage of recently, but this year we're taking advantage of that. Can't think of anything else.
No, that's fine, because, you know, we know what you're kind of talking about, but I just kind of wanted to let them know, get a little.
Appreciate that.
Spend on good dollars there.
That's a great explanation, Mr. Domingo.
Thank you. So just really briefly to go over the wastewater side project or the sewer projects, we have a sludge dewatering project for $4 million, and I can go into a lot of detail on that, but I will save that explanation unless you want to hear about it. A grit removal expansion for about $1.6 million, and then also a sludge mitigation project, which is starting to remove the accumulation of sludge in all the old ponds for when the district started accepting wastewater and getting those out of that facility. So all that said, the total amount of capital projects, both funds, is about $20 million. So this budget and all these projects were provided, and Sadie made mention of it, provided for into the rate, so it informed the rate study. So the rate study that was accepted and adopted, the rates for the next 5 years that were adopted in the Prop 218 hearing on April 22nd. That's not what we're litigating here, but all those rates and that adoption were informed by this budget. So just so you know, so it's not, well, you are creating you've got a huge spend and now you're gonna have to ask for more money. No, that's already been built into the 5-year rates that were adopted. So with that said, that's all I have to report on the capital budget.
Thank you.
Okay, want to open up?
I guess one more thing. I'm sorry. I can talk about the major maintenance budget, which is an ongoing thing that's on the second page of it's actually a major maintenance budget. It's about $47,000 a year for sludge removal for the ongoing operation of the plant. That concludes my presentation of the capital.
Okay, public testimony. Any comments, questions? The floor is yours.
I'm a little confused about the 100 cubic feet flow and sewer costs that we might incur. How do you measure that?
I think that probably would be appropriate for the next public hearing. We got the subsequent one. All right, that discussion. So save that question. That's a good question. All right.
Yes, I have a question. Does the water and sewer adjustments address not only the chromium levels that you're dealing with, but also the arsenic and other chemicals as well?
Yes.
Okay, and then these rate adjustments, are these going to be showing up on our monthly bills or they're showing up on the property tax bills?
So that one will be appropriate for the next public hearing. As soon as we close this one and they take action, we're going to open up the next public hearing.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
No, it's the
No, next time.
No, you're at the right meeting.
Yeah,
We're holding two public hearings.
Yeah, it's the next
First
one.
one on the budget, then we'll have the second one on.
yeah, a few minutes.
Sit
You're at the right meeting.
sit tight.
Okay, anyone?
Mr. President, can I make one comment about this before we go on? Thank you for the budget report. I think it's important for the community to know when we do this rate study, it's not to make money on the community. It's to meet the needs of the things he presented. And basically, we can't collect more than, we can't make a profit on us. We just have to give the money to run the district and to take care of these projects. We can't go out here and say, well, let's get an extra 50 million. Yeah, we need to collect the money to run the district, pay the people, and pay for the maintenance. That's all we do with that there. And I think a lot of times when people hear, increases or whatever, I'm not gonna get into the numbers because we've gone over them before, but if you compare our numbers, we do pretty good. And I thank you, sir, and your staff, and the accountants. You guys did a pretty good job bringing some good numbers to us to be able to vote on, to be fair to the community, and to be good stewards of their money. Thank you. That's all I had, Chair.
All right, anything else?
Great. I don't live in the district, so it would be appropriate for me to comment. The only thing I would suggest in the future on these, I'm an auditory visual learner, and a PowerPoint with numbers, seeing as you're going would make a world. I mean, we're listening to all these numbers, but trying to picture them in your mind and where they're going and all that, I think would be a big help to kind of understanding budget process and where the money's going, where it's being sent, what projects, and all that I think would be a big help.
Thank you.
I agree.
Anything else? About the budget? Okay, we're gonna close public hearing. 6:47. Okay, motion to adopt resolution number 2026-6, adopting the annual budget for the fiscal year ending June 30th, 2027. In motion. Motion by Vice President Wood.
Second.
Second by Director Hernandez. Any more discussion? All in favor? Oh, roll call. I'm sorry. Roll call vote.
Director Hernandez,
Yes.
Director Glenn,
Yes.
Director Webb,
Yes.
Vice President Wood,
Yes.
President Washington.
Yes.
Resolution passes.
Resolution passes 5-0. Okay, public hearing to consider adoption of resolution number 2026-7, providing for the collection of water and sewer service base fees for fiscal year 2026 to 2027 through the tax roll of Kern County. Like to open this up for a public hearing. Introduction and presentation from General Manager Kim Domingo.
Thank you, Mr. President. This action is to consider public testimony and then propose the adoption of the resolution that will place the collection of water and sewer base fees through the tax roll in Kern County. I want to again to emphasize that the discussion is not necessarily about the rates. It's just about placing the fees on the tax roll, and it's just the base rates. So base rates cover the infrastructure costs associated with delivering clean drinking water and disposing of sewage. These costs include system maintenance, equipment, facilities, customer service, administrative costs, and personnel. Base rates do not vary from month to month. The district has been using the collection method of tax roll levy for charging and collecting the base water and sewer fees since 2020. This manner of collection of service fees is exempt from Proposition 218, and it authorizes the district through the Government Code 6115B to provide for the collection of base fees for water and sewer service on the tax roll in the same manner as property tax. A public hearing notice was advertised in a local newspaper, and a public hearing notice with the proposed levies was mailed to district customers in accordance with the government code. The staff recommends that the board of directors open the public portion of the meeting, of the public hearing, and take testimony, then consider the adoption of the resolution. That concludes the staff.
Okay. Public testimony. Any comments? Questions?
Yes, so I believe you did just answer my question. It does show up on the property taxes. What is the
I'm sorry,
difference?
Before you go any further, can you state your name?
Oh, yes, Teresa Fornash and Ryan Dotsman, residents of Rosamond.
Okay, Fornash and Ryan Dotson. Thank you.
Okay.
You're welcome. And so, like I said, I believe you did answer my question. These new rates will show up on the property taxes.
Right.
What is the difference between the old rates and these new base rates coming into play now? Difference in cost?
I don't have that information in front of me because that was the April 22nd meeting. But if you, I think our assistant general manager is going to try to find that information. I know that the base rates went down in one case and they went up on the other case, on the other side.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, this is, someone actually brought a notice, probably, so the base rates are going up on the water side a little, are you a residential customer?
Yes, sir, we are.
Okay, so it's going up from 4266 multiplied by 12, of course, to 4549. So it's going up about $253 a month, something like that, maybe.
Okay.
And then the sewer rates are actually going down slightly.
There we go.
They were $65.78 and they're going down to $65.25.
57.
Okay, good to know. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other comments?
Yes.
I have my tax bill here, and I can't figure out where those are being added to my taxes. And
So many different categories of money on places.
Sure.
don't you see that says water use?
I think it's a.
Sorry.
You're fine.
So for the record, I'm trying to help with the tax bill. I think it's under summarized funds, unfortunately. I think that's the combined total.
Oh, okay, so then I just have to go.
So each that multiplied, actually, both of those, that is that multiplied by 12 and compare it to that.
And that'll tell me the difference.
That'll tell you the difference. Okay, yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right.
Kim, was that, were they summarized? We had that problem, with several community members.
Yes.
They run out of space, so they summarized. I don't
Yes.
think that, to me, I don't think that's legal. If you call the tax, they'll break it down for you. But this summarized in a whole group is not, it's not.
Well, you have to remember, that's not what we do,
No.
that's the county.
Right.
We give them the two numbers present there, so.
Yeah, do you know anybody at the RMAC that can help us with that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be, can I maybe make a suggestion for us? In the future, maybe if we had like, overblown type thing, so when that question comes up, we can show how our numbers would look.
So, actually, if you called here, so I actually developed a tool to calculate what your monthly bill would look like and what your tax bill would look like. I actually did, so if you wanted to call the office,
There we go.
every one of the customer service representatives has the tool and they can help you.
Because I had called here, but it was when they first started, but in 2020.
Oh, okay.
Because I have a set finite income and I have to I have to budget all year round for things like this. So I need to know exactly how much I need.
Understand. Yes, call any of the customer service reps and they'll be able to help you.
Mr. Jim, I don't wanna bombard you, but with that being extra work for your staff, but would it be worthwhile maybe having our in the newsletter to let them know that information is available as a tool to help them with that bombard you guys and people start calling just have, is that a long?
I think if 20 people at a time wanna come and talk, we're all.
That's why I'm saying, I don't wanna bombard you.
I really didn't want, cause the tools is specific, you have no idea.
Okay. Maybe we'll kind of avoid that, but case by case, but the thing that's important for them to know,
Absolutely,
the numbers we give them is two numbers, water and sewer.
yes.
How the county winds up presenting it to them is a little bit different.
Rick, what they're doing is you guys are giving them the two numbers, they're running out of space, so they're just combining everything, so. You know, I don't, my wife is worse than I am, she's very anal about paying to the penny. She won't pay nothing to shit until you break it down for her, so she goes
But
crazy.
you brought up a good point, it's a good question. No, maybe it's a good question because we don't want, it's creating concern.
One thing, if it just says summarize funds, you don't know if that's for water.
Right.
Right.
You don't know, going for the colleges.
Absolutely.
Just
There you go.
some kind of slush fund, you'd think, like it's for things that just come up in need.
You brought up a point.
So a lot of people think that, like, that's what Rick does the meeting.
Yeah.
To see if we can find out something because they can't understand that money's tight, it's just irritating.
Yeah,
I thought I was gonna have to go without water and sewer.
One thing I'd like to point out, and I always like to use this opportunity, is that you take that $65 and that $45 a month. It's on your property tax, and if it wasn't on your property tax, it would be on your monthly water bill.
Yeah.
And so, but the most important thing to realize that with it on your property tax, it makes sure that every property owner is paying into the maintenance and upkeep of the water system, the sewer system. And because of that, you, as a monthly payer for water and sewer, you will never have to subsidize those that don't get a monthly water bill because their property is vacant and not, of that nature. So therefore, it's a good thing for you, and it's just, and I agree with you. I think they should break it down in the property tax bill so you know exactly what it is.
Just nothing, just something more than, that says nothing.
So, yeah.
It says, it's the fun, but I know things cost money and we have to maintain it, and it's all of our responsibility. I don't have any beef with that. I just want to know, how I need figures, so you answer my questions. And I do.
Can I get your name for the record?
My name is Deborah Palava.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Ma'am, do you have something you'd like to say?
Yes, I know that, when you first added the service fee for the water and the service fee for the sewer onto my property taxes, however many years ago it was, it added $900 to my property tax. And that was quite a challenge for me to come up with the money for it that year.
Everybody.
What?
Everybody.
Yeah. I have set aside a savings account to pay my property tax and my homeowner's insurance, and money goes into it periodically. But that first year, I had to scramble around to find enough money to cover that extra. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I get your name?
Nona, Nona, Stone like Rob.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Sir, in the back, do you have anything you'd like to say?
No.
You okay? All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Is that it?
A couple of things.
Okay.
To expand, this is Teresa again. To expand on what the little lady just said about, knowing where the money is going. And I don't know if it's possible if the property taxes can be itemized. This is for water, this is for sewer, this is for your land use fee, this is for your, so I'm not sure if that's a possible thing or if I'm even just barking up the wrong tree. So that's just kind of one thing. And does Roseman have assistance for our older folks that kind of helps their property tax bills and stuff?
Number one, on the description, we submit both rules to the county so that you should be able to call the county and say, what is this, I forgot what the term was, what that, it's kind of a combined term. It should be listed out. This is water and this is sewer, the Roseman's, Community Services District. So you should be able to get that from the county, or if you want to get it from us, you can actually give us a call and we can tell you exactly how much that we have submitted to in fact, the resolutions that we're passing tonight have each individual properties on them listed as an exhibit by assessor parcel number. So if you know your assessor parcel numbers, you can actually look at it and request the information, and we can share that with you. On the other item, Sherry, I know you're on the line. I hope you're on the line still. Do we have anything, and because I'm not aware of it, I'm not aware of anything, any assistance, other than if a customer is coming to a struggle with a monthly bill, then we set up a payment plan, but other than that, we don't have anything for property taxes.
Okay, thank you.
We have attempted to create a fund several times, and we've been told we can't do it. That's a gift of public funds. We're taking money from one person and giving it to another. We can't do that. We've tried to do it several times to give a senior break, but we can't do it.
Yeah, one of the things I've noticed that when I was paying my property taxes this year, the county, I don't know if it's third party that's part of the county, but those who don't have a mortgage, or paying the property, they have a system where you pay monthly now through the county. Yeah, it's on the tax website. It gives you an option that it'll break it down to the monthly payments for you.
I wasn't aware of that. That's good information.
It is. All right, thanks for that, Mr. McKay. Any other questions, comments?
I have one comment, if I can comment.
You sure can.
My name's Dominic Romano. I live here in Roseman. For the lady that asked the question about where it's to summarize funds, you can actually go online to Kern County Tax, and you can actually get a total itemized list of everything that's on there, where it actually will break down the sewer fee, the water fee. Because in that itemized summary, there's also, I forget if it's the street light fee or the park fee or something is in there too. So every year I go in there and I'm looking at one of mine that I printed out this year. It says additional detail of bill, and it's got the bill number. But it lists everything and every agency and everything. So it would show you exactly what the water and the sewer is separately.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Dominic.
You're welcome.
When people talk, we learn.
There you go. Thank you.
Talk, we learn.
Thanks for the insight.
You're welcome.
Any more comments, questions? Director Glennon?
Nope.
You have anything? Vice President Wood? Okay, we're in closed public hearing. Motion to adopt resolution number 2026-7, providing for the collection of water and sewer service-based fees for the fiscal year 2026 through 2027 through the tax roll of Kern County. Motion by Director Hernandez,
Second.
second by Director Webb.
That would.
I'm sorry. Second by Director Webb. Okay, roll call vote.
Director Hernandez.
Aye.
Director Glennon.
Yes.
Director Webb.
Yeah, yeah.
Vice President Wood.
Yes,
President Washington.
Yes.
That's just 5-0.
All right. Okay, let's move on to new business. New business 1. Approval of task order 2026-4 ACOM with ACOM for the grit removal project design amendment 2. Presenter is Kim Domingo.
Thank you all.
thank you.
Thank you.
Good night.
Good night.
Thank you, Mr. President. This task order is to amend the design approval for the grit removal project design. Staff wanted to address an issue that they had with the existing technology, and that is the accumulation of the grit in the bottom of the hopper, the current hopper. So the design was focused on an expansion of what we currently have, which is the Smith & Loveless Vistagrit. In the accumulation of the hopper, what staff has found, and I'm talking about operations staff at the wastewater plant, that the grit has a tendency to conglomerate and makes it very difficult to then fluidize it, to pump it out, because there's a pump that draws from the bottom of that, makes it very difficult to fluidize it, such that when they run into that issue where it plugs the pump, they have to actually bypass the grit. So they wanted to avoid that situation staff visited one location where the Grit King system was in place, and it's more of an elevated tank. You actually eliminate the grit pumps, and it's just a valve that then runs by gravity and flushes the grit out, and can be done more often, obviously. The drawback, because there is a drawback, there's always a trade-off. The drawback is it does hit higher, hydraulically higher, so the influent pumps from the headworks would have to lift water higher. So you're gonna have a slight increase in cost because you gotta raise it higher. But Ryan is saying, I really want to get away from having to maintain another set of pumps. So that was the reason why he requested his design change. So this is a result of the design change, and this allows ACOM to finish the design with the new technology, and it's time and materials. And so the recommendation is for the board to approve this task order, which is 2026-4.
Motion to approve.
Motion to approve.
Motion by Director Webb,
Second,
second by Vice President Wood, and I'm sure there is discussion.
Kim, you were mentioning that it has a water backflush system in it that will help any
Yes.
kind of accumulation of
Excuse me.
grit turning into concrete. And so that one, how, just from an operational standpoint, how often do they have to backflush that grit? Make sure doesn't pack up and won't flow through. Something that's done on an automatic basis in it, or is that something that has to be done manually?
So it's an automatic basis, actually. So they do it, I've 4 times an hour.
Okay.
So yeah, but here's the difference. in the grid, or the Pista grid, it's just one pipe at the entrance, one pipe that just, goes into the entrance of the hall.
Excuse me.
And it shoots out. In the Grit King, there's a ring where the water then, there's a flush ring. So the water actually gets shot out through different ports. And that's part of the improvement in the design.
You know, 4 times an hour, it's not gonna have an opportunity to
Yeah.
settle and back up.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Sir, question for you. 2 things.
Thank you, man.
Long term, you're gonna save money on this. You're gonna save, wear and tear, not wear and tear. The process is gonna be a little bit smoother.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's, one more piece of equipment, rotating equipment, a motor that, and a pump that they won't have to maintain.
So
It
you're saving,
eliminates that.
so you're saving basically money and time with maintenance?
Yes.
With your staff and with the longevity of it, perhaps?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough, thank you.
Good. Utilize that staff for other stuff, huh? Okay, motion to approve.
We have a motion and a second on.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry.
Discussion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, new business moves 5-0. New business 2, closure of district office on June 18th, 2026 for observance of Juneteenth, 2026. Presenter is Kim Domingo.
Thank you, Mr. President. So the current MOU, memorandum of understanding with our represented employees, states that if the holiday falls on a normal day off, which is Fridays is the normal day off because we work for them. Friday happens to be where June 19th lands, which is Juneteenth, and when it's celebrated, so that they have the option of a holiday. But of a floating holiday, they have the option of a floating holiday, but it has to be taken before June 30th.
Okay.
So basically they have 11 days to take the floating holiday. So I reached out to the union and just said, do you mind if we just celebrate on one day instead of having spot?
We'll push it back one to get it done.
Right, and what that does is it because, you know, people then really don't have much time to take it, so they're either gonna take it that Thursday,
Right.
the following Monday, or the next Thursday, or the
And
following
what's
Monday after
that?
that, so we wanted to make sure that we have full coverage for most of the days.
Okay.
And that's why we wanted to do that. So, but in order to do this, you as a board need to make that decision as to whether we can close the office. So that's the recommendation.
Yep.
Okay, motion to close the district office on June 18th for observance of Juneteenth.
I'll motion.
Motion by Director Hernandez. Second by Vice President Wood. Discussion? No discussion? All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Moves 5-0. Okay. Oh, they say. Okay, directors' reports, comments, future agenda items. I'll start with you, Director Glennon.
Nothing tonight, sir.
Okay, Vice President Wood.
nothing tonight.
Oh. Director Hernandez.
I just want to thank the people that did come out, to come out and show your voice your concern and understand where the money goes. And nice meeting you as well.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'll slide in on Director Webb's moment here. I have 3 things I want to touch on right quick. Last week, the EPA announced a proposed rulemaking to correct the previous administration's failure to follow the clear requirements of the Safe Drinking Water Act in promoting regulations for 4 particular forever chemicals. Now, I don't want to get into the ABCs of these chemicals, but I've researched the 4 and they're commonly used for upholstery repellent, Teflon bands, and food processing. The EPA's position is that there was an unlawful procedure under which regulations for these forever chemicals were announced. Once the EPA has taken final action to correct the unlawful process by rescinding the current regulations for these four, the agency will take steps to follow through on its commitment to evaluate additional PFAS in drinking water for future regulations. The EPA is also currently proposing a rule to extend the compliance deadlines for PFAS maximum contamination levels. The EPA will hold a virtual public hearing on July 7th, 2026, where the public is invited to provide the EPA with verbal comments on the proposed rule. During the hearing, the agency will present information on proposed rule and then receive comments from the public. Moving on, last night at the AVEC board meeting, they mentioned a bump in their state allocation up to 45% and also approved purchase order with Aqua Aerobic Systems to rebuild 2 ozone generators at the Roseman Water Treatment Plant for their treatment process. I guess ozonation over there, huh? I didn't know that. Okay. Oh, and lastly, recently, I started following the American Water Works Association more closely, and I recently listened in on their State of the Water report for 2026. And I found some interesting stuff that I want to share with the board. They have an overall optimistic look on water sustainability, but aging infrastructure remains the most pressing challenge, closely followed by the need for sustainable funding and long-term water supply reliability. AWWA says many small utilities are struggling to fully recover costs, with rates and fees creating a widening gap between the revenues and rising expenses. External pressures, including economic uncertainty, political dynamics, national hazards, and supply chain disruptions, compound these financial challenges, complicating long-term planning. So I thought that was pretty good stuff I want to share with you guys. And lastly, I have a water committee meeting with you tomorrow, Director Glennon, and we're gonna keep pushing that water conservation outreach. And that's all I have. Okay, Director Webb was filling in for you there.
Oh, good man, outstanding. Here's one thing that has nothing to do with water, nothing to do with sewer. Folks, buy yourselves a generator, fucking tell you. The other day, out of the blue, all it goes off for a minute, comes back on, but, we are in such time with emergencies, disasters or whatever. Consider having yourself a generator. We bought up about, we always talk about people responding to us. Sometimes they can't respond to us. And I was at Harbor Freight many months ago and I bought these little pull-up lights, so big. They illuminated, I had 10 of them out and they illuminated the whole house till the power came back on. So I just encourage everyone, if you can see, you feel a lot safer. So get you some lights, get you some generators. Summertime's coming, rolling brownouts and all this good stuff. But it's that generator or lighting or whatever. Think safety, think preparedness, and start thinking that as the first thing, not a second thing. That's all I have, sir.
Right. Seems like a lot of maintenance has been performed as well by, is that SCE at night? No,
Yeah,
2 o'clock in the morning, no power and.
Yeah, they're doing a lot of new lines, but the problem I see, they're like what you just brought up about the waterworks. They have an old system that they're trying to patch together and they're trying to bring more stuff into it. So maybe we need to start taking a little bit more responsibility, keeping ourselves prepared. And I know a person doesn't want to go buy $1,000 generator, but if you have medical concerns at home or whatnot, you need that power. You need that power. If you have documents that you need to have saved, give the backups for that there. And that could be a whole nother chapter. But anyway, thanks, sir.
Okay, thank you. General Counsel update, Mr. Komar.
Nothing tonight, folks.
Okay. General Manager update, Mr. Domingo.
Thank you, Mr. President. I have one very exciting thing to report. and that is we have selected an intern
All
to
right.
work with us. I'm not gonna announce the name because, he has additional I guess, I've just given away part of his identity. He has to still, do the preliminary stuff before he gets hired. So, but we're very excited, projected to start June 8th. And then he will be with us for 9 weeks, assuming that all goes well. So, I will tell you this. Shout out to the Rosamond schools. They're doing an excellent job with these young folks.
Yeah.
And then also, I wish we could have hired all of them. It would be outstanding.
We can,
Individuals.
we can, trust me. We're gonna try.
Building tomorrow's workforce within the community.
But yeah,
That's
it's
great.
It's an exciting thing,
Good for you, sir.
just to fill the public in. We, board, decided, to hire an intern for the summer. Someone that's not just gonna whack weeds. Someone that's gonna work shoulder to shoulder with our staff to see what we do, water side, wastewater side, customer service side. Because there is a looming dearth in our industry for people that are, or qualified people and skilled people, to work in this industry. So we're hoping that by this, with this internship program, that people will get excited about working for a water district and go out and get the certifications that they need because, you can make a good living in our industry. So anyway, just wanted to thank the board also for that.
Great.
Because it was by direction and vision that it came to pass. So thank you for that.
All right.
And Director Washington, congrats, your thought has come full circle.
Made it to the finish line.
Come full circle, good man.
Maybe we'll see it in the newsletter or something.
Yeah, yeah, he's the one, Director Washington is the one that brought the intern program up, and just tag along that. The superintendent was at the RMAC meeting last week, and Roseman High School, I concur with you, sir, they're doing some amazing stuff with those kids up there. They have one of their kids, they had 27, was it 27? 29 valedictorian.
Oh, yeah. One of them interviewed with us.
Really? Okay. When I
Wow.
graduated, we had I think 1 or 2, they had 27, and they had one of their kids going to Stanford, straight out the front door to Stanford, so folks, Roseman is not taking a back seat to nobody.
Yep.
Now, all we gotta do is get Greg Washington on the football staff. Anyway, that's my personal.
There you go.
Okay,
But I want to mention that, I go to a lot of the water conferences and I keep hearing time and time again, there's a shortage of employees, water work employees. So why not build our workforce within our community? Look at our assistant general manager. Everyone knows him in the community. He's a very personable guy. It does nothing but benefit our community to have someone who's grown up in the community that knows the community. Okay, Assistant General Manager update, Mr. Stewart, we're warming you up here.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Just a couple things. Staff celebrated Public Works Week last week. It's a nationally recognized organization that it's the Public Works Association of America, and last week was their week, so staff celebrated on Thursday, and then we also took the time to recognize our administrative staff, which that was back in April, but we did it together, so it was good. Currently, I'm attending a virtual workshop on organizational development through CSDA. It's a 2-day class. I'm in it for 3 hours each morning, and I'm meeting with other general managers and assistant general managers and hopefuls in the state. I believe there's 20 people in the virtual class currently. So it was good. I'm learning a lot of stuff and reassuring some of the paths I would take on decision making or what the industry should do. Last but not least, he stole most of the thunder, but I'll bring it up again. We have selected an intern. I have 4 interviews. We've selected 1, and then the initial start date is June 8th, and they should be going until August 13th.
All right.
So excited to get the person online. We selected a member from each section of the staff to sit on the interview panel.
and they prepared questions, so, it was good. It was good to get their input, and then they'll be working with those people on a daily basis.
Awesome.
A little bit about because we're excited about this, but a little bit about the interview process. So we gave them immediate feedback right out. So not only did they interview, answer questions, they're obviously nervous. We try to keep them at ease, but also we give them immediate feedback so that they can take and learn from that experience as well.
Yeah. Wow, that was
Assistant General Manager, you said you're taking some kind of training.
Yes.
Did you see the block about feeding directors every other day?
That's gonna be in tomorrow's class?
Yeah.
I haven't gone through it, so.
Yeah.
I look forward to the next meeting.
No, he's still in chapter 1, bringing donuts to staff. We haven't got to chapter 2 yet.
Good job on that, sir.
All right, thank you, Jim, Assistant GM. Okay, Director of Administration update, Mrs. Sherry Tim, are you still with us?
I am. Thank you, Mr. President.
All right.
Can you all hear me now?
Sure
I was having
can.
a problem earlier. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So just a reminder, on June 2nd, we, the district, will once again be hosting as a polling site for the midterm elections. And on June 25th, just a big reminder about one of our most important events is the Red Cross Blood Drive. And again, that's June 25th in the boardroom, and it will be from noon until 6 p.m. And that's the end of my report, unless there's any questions.
Any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Public Works update, Mr. Houghton, John Houghton.
Mr. Houghton is on vacation. He's visiting his granddaughter, graduating high school.
All right.
So, much needed. I can answer any questions you may have to the best of my abilities. Oh, we actually picked this up on the board. If there's any questions on this, we can answer them. As you can see, the picture to the far right is the actual sewer repair that's happening off Diamond Street, and there's two different names for that street. It's by the old Johnson's Market, the alley that's behind Carl's Hardware. That's roughly 12 to 15 feet of sewer line that's being replaced. It was a capital project of ours. Service line repair in the middle, and then on the left, it looks like it's another service line. Actually, that service line repair on the left is Central Construction. That's the Myrtle, Melvin, and Edwards over there. So they're replacing a complete service line change out from the main line to the angle stop, which is the part that connects to the water meter.
All right. On that picture to the far right,
Yeah.
Mr. Vice President, could you tell us what that is?
It's showing.
You missed that, huh?
That's a hole.
You missed that kind of stuff, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
If you look at it, I have a laser pointer, and I won't try to get you in your eyes. That hole is actually 9 feet deep, so it does require the shoring. We engineered boards with the shoring underground.
Anything over 5 feet, let you step it.
To Mr. General Manager, I have a concern here. He's taken one class and all of a sudden he's doing a pointer. He's been into one class and he has.
I have a Batman too, though.
One class, and he has his pointer
What
class.
I want to know is when do we get our pointers?
There you go.
Oh. We can pass it around.
But yeah, that picture does display that you guys are working in a safe manner.
That's actually a contractor.
Oh, okay.
But it was an inspected job by us. Inspected job as contractor. If you actually look at your agenda packet, you will see that there is some potholing that's referenced on the Melvin Street. That's one of the houses where they're doing the replacement. And the next picture is the new copper service line that they're installing. So you're seeing that we'll be going from a damaged with a repair company poly service line to a copper service line. So you see down on the left is measuring out the copper.
Yeah. Pointer.
And that is all.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Does anyone have anything else? We will adjourn at 7:30. Mr. McKay, I can call you Joel now. Hey, thank you.
Oh, it just ended. Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
It just ended.
Okay, did you push the record button at the top?
No.
Go all the way to the top. There's like a little circle. You just tap it.
A circle.
It's like hearing you say everything.
A circle? Oh.